Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty. You suck. You suck. You suck.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce,
Patrick Kane,
and Matt Foxley.
You can contact us on email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod.
Are you not playing Fallout? You are playing Fallout though, aren't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
You're not playing it?
No.
Why not? What's wrong with you?
Subjective
It's not
personal
an entirely
taste.
unfair question, to be honest.
What is wrong with you?
It's
Playing
not.
this game with a grappling hook, completely unbelievable. What's wrong with Fallout?
It's your choice to play Fallout, not mine.
Oh, okay.
Also, had enough of the hype, to be honest.
It's pretty good
Okay.
Bobby started about 2
Is
years
it
ago
just
with the
that?
hype, and no, it's not that. I don't like the game. I just don't like it. I find it quite dull.
though. It's like playing in a movie.
The third,
being
the
in a
third
film.
one you didn't like.
I had the same problem with the third one. It was fine. It was good. It was Skyrim-ish, but I hated the world. Bored of the mechanics. Didn't like the weapon selection. Choose which body part. It was all just a bit handing it to you on a plate.
They have fixed quite a bit of that.
But have they fixed it or just removed it all? Just
I'm
trimmed it
using
down to make it
hardly
more
any
console
VATs.
friendly?
I'm using hardly any VATs. I'm playing it like Quake.
Well,
That's how
yeah.
I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Like Quake 2.
Yeah.
That's how I'm playing it. Like, I go in, my guy's armoured up, and I have a gun, and I shoot them by using, Quake tactics.
I'm playing it in a similar way, actually.
That's how I'm playing it. Occasionally I do VATs if I get completely screwed by, as in I've walked into an area and I'm like, holy fuck, what the fuck?
if you've
they
got
just shot
like
me
a
with?
really expensive like mini nuke or something and you really need it to land, then VATS is handy for that. But what they've done with VATS though, that I didn't explain when I last talked about Fallout 4, is that it actually doesn't freeze time, it just slows it down. So you might be aiming at a dude and they'll be like walking past some cover and then when they emerge from cover you'll see those percentage chance like raise, so you can't, it's not as sort of turn based as it was before.
Right.
So
Okay.
it does just slow shit down.
Yeah, but I'm shocked that
I
Ian's
don't.
not playing it, Rob. I'm just quite
Well,
shocked that
I'm
Ian's not playing it.
surprised, if only because I know how taken you were, Ian, with Skyrim, and
Yeah.
just I've invested quite a chunk of time in Fallout, but I sort of am getting that vibe now. But I don't want to bully Ian, and it's not.
I
He's
will not
made
be
his
bullied.
choice.
Give it a go, bitches.
The thing is, I think that actually both of you are right, and that's basically what I took away from playing this game.
Yeah,
See, the thing that I think that makes it feel well, first of all, I'll point out something that I think is true on a technical level about this game, and that is that it's actually an FPS in an RPG engine.
Oh,
that's
definitely.
fair.
Yeah. You can FPS definitely for
Yeah.
100%. You can.
Yeah. But what I mean by that, what I mean by pointing out that in terms of it being a technicality, is that FPSs are normally experienced in FPS engines, and that does actually change the way that the game that thing is presented. So, like, there is definitely a split on this thing in particular, but many PC FPS players don't expect to play that experience at low frame rates, for example. They don't like to play it at something like 50 FPS, which
Yeah, but
is
it's not multiplayer, so there's no problem against AI.
and that's absolutely correct, and that's why that it in part it is totally an acceptable engine to use for that experience. But what I mean is that that means that something is taken away from their frame of reference for that type of experience, if that makes sense. You know, that they are used to having a very high
Call of Duty
frame
experience, you mean? Of just
exactly,
going
that
black,
they are
black,
used to
black,
having
black,
that
black,
very
and killing enemies.
specifically they are
The frame
used to
rate.
having that very fast, visceral action at that frame rate, and frame rate is it's very hard. It's very easy to dismiss as being like a nonsense thing if you don't care about that. But it's not. It's basically the whole thing about frame rate is something you can't unsee. Once you're used to that reference of action taking place in front of your peripheral vision, you notice it when it's missing. And I'm not saying that the game is any way less because of that, but what I'm saying is that the fact that the part of the game is that it's an FPS. Being presented in a non-FPS engine makes it less good at what it could be. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think
Does that make sense?
I think Fallout 3 did that a bit as well,
Right.
and that's why I didn't like it.
Right.
Skyrim worked for me because it was hack and slashy, non-shooty.
Oh, you don't like the gun mechanics in it? Is that what you're on about?
I don't like the whole thing, but one of the things, and included within that, is I don't like the first-person shooteriness of it, because it doesn't feel like a shooter, as I play a lot of shooters.
That's exactly what
Oh,
I
yes,
mean, really.
but
Yeah.
4's a lot better. 4 is... I'm playing it like...
I'm sure it is.
playing it like Quake 2.
To be honest, I've
stuff.
been reading up on
I'm
the
saying
Reddit
Quake
and
2
stuff.
because it's not the best, like... I play Armour 3 and stuff and everything,
Yeah.
where the actual bullet fall and everything is proper.
Yeah.
You know, as good as Damn It, that I've played video game for. I play a lot of Armour 3, mods, Exile and all that kind of stuff with friends, and you get in firefights that are real, feel realistic.
Yeah.
And it scares the shit out of you. And what Pat's saying, Fallout,
It doesn't
it's
have that,
all
does it?
right. It does. It's just about. It's a bit all over the clunk. It's very clunky. All of it feels very clunky. The UI, the change in equipment, everything is just clunky as hell and takes up loads of your time. So it's like, if they say it's a 50-hour game, you could probably take 10 hours out of that for being clunking around in the bloody
Just
inventory.
loading your last save.
Just
Yeah.
just trying to find where what hat you're wearing.
Yeah.
Oh, I picked up all this shit. Where's my what hat have I got on?
I certainly...
10 hours, I'm sure, is wasted in
I
that.
certainly appreciate why everybody's liking it, and I've watched gameplay videos, and it looks good fun. I understand that, but
The thing is
for all of those reasons, I would rather play games that are more dedicated to it instead of this, which, with the inclusion of building a base, seems to want to tick all of the things that have been added in the last couple of years instead of just doing what it did before.
It's a bit all over there. It's a bit
Yeah.
all over the place. I mean,
Everybody's saying that you can build a house and stuff like it's a new fucking thing.
I know.
Well,
It doesn't do it very well either.
Yeah.
I tell you, my house is pretty
Please
fucking awful.
go and Google Minecraft or anything else that's been
Yeah, but
doing
I
it for
think-
years
I
now.
think there's such a charm to it.
better.
Actually, I've kind
At
of
building
got
house.
into the I've got into the sort of construction-y elements a bit more in the last week or so, mostly because I haven't had a whole fucking long weekend to get lost in it, and I've found myself just sort of tinkering like for an hour before bed. But it's kind of a
that what you
necessary
call it,
thing,
Rob?
and that's sorry.
Is that what you call it, tinkering an hour before bed?
having a quick tinker.
Just going to have a quick tinker.
Oh, you got me there. No, but
Matt's just
kind of-
tinkered in his face.
I think Ian's just tinkering right now. Just about to have a quick tinker.
just tinker off, will you? That didn't work. No,
Carry on.
it kind of becomes a necessity because of the way that you deal the whole sort of junk mechanic and the way that everything is usable. It just becomes kind of easy, and it is a shame in a way that they've kind of locked this simple convenience behind the charisma stat. But basically, once you take the local leader perk, well, both ranks of it, which I think you need to have at least a 6 charisma and be a certain level. But once you have that, it then lets you put lets you build workbenches around your workshop and link other workshops together, which basically means you have this kind of universal deposit of crap that you can use to build not just the settlements, but also all your own gear as well. So that's kind of how I got sucked into it. And then, of course, once I set up the supply lines, I started revisiting other settlements and going, oh, they need beds here, but where do I put the beds? There's nowhere to fucking put them, so I need to build something up there and then hook up power, and they need defence, and then I'm daisy chaining these.
It's like Command and
power
Conquer, isn't
cables.
it?
Rob, it sounds a lot like you're playing a game like Rust.
Or The Sims.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
Well,
like
it's
Sims.
clear-
Sims.
You're finally playing one of those games.
You're playing
like,
a Sims game where you care
I know,
about
they
those
got me.
little
that's
people.
the thing. Like,
I think-
that thing has become. That's joined so many other different types
Yeah,
of
I
games.
murdered.
That's the
I
thing.
murdered everyone in Sanctuary. Rob, I'm such an evil person.
You monster!
I've murdered them all, right?
In
And you know
Sanctuary.
what? I eat the flesh. Here, Ian, you'd like this, right? I eat
Oh my
the
God.
flesh of, I don't know, whoever I kill.
No wonder they won't
and I
let
get
you in the
hit.
Brotherhood.
I know, yeah, they won't. They hate me in the Brotherhood. But the Brotherhood can
Good luck
fuck off
finding
because I'm going to
fusion
eat
cores.
all of them. I'm going to eat them all. It's like, that's how I'm
Good luck
playing the
finding
game. I'm a
fusion
cannibal.
cores.
There's a perk you can take.
You're a cannonball. What?
Yeah, it's a perk you can take.
Cannibal.
There's
You
a
want to
perk
run,
where
mate?
you can eat anyone you kill. So you get your hit points back. So basically you kill them and then eat them.
That's not really how you get health back in
But
the
if
normal
you-
world.
No,
is
in
it?
the real
Okay,
world,
right.
no.
Okay.
See,
No, I joined the Brotherhood of Steel. I've got
Yeah,
power
I-
armor, so I don't
But it's a
ever
game.
lose any hit points because I've got a ridiculous tank
It's a
suit
stupid
on.
Yeah.
game.
Here's the thing, though. Like that technical thing, that was just an observation. Really, that's not really what formed my idea of what, formed my sort of opinion of what the game was like. Basically, what I think is good about the game, and what is potentially good about the game, and what is potentially bad about the game, is because of just the way the mechanics work. And essentially, it's just that the game is a really good model of basically like evolution. It's like, it's the same as Skyrim. It is the same game as Skyrim. It's a different context that it's in, and it's got slightly more evolved rules, but it's basically the same thing. And it's what it is it drops you in the world, and it makes you ask, like, what do I want to get out of this experience? Like, what do I want to get out of
Yeah, I eat
playthrough?
everyone.
So you encounter an obstacle. You know you have to overcome it, but you basically choose how you're going to overcome it, and that's basically how you decide how the game's going to be for you. And you can have very, very, very different experiences from just two different paths. And like, that's what I found through playing Skyrim. That's what I found through playing multiple times. And I immediately felt that it was exactly the same system in Fallout. And it was just that the contextual environment that those rule sets were dropped in was different. And that the way that you evolve is obviously different as well. But the reason that I think Ian doesn't like it, and the reason that Rob really does like it, is the same reason. It's for the same reason. It's basically, it can be a fault. I don't think it's actually fair to describe as a fault. It's quite an easy system to actually use to cheat, to essentially nerf the world around you. You can choose a pathway if you think it out properly that makes the game too easy. And when it becomes too easy, that can actually disengage you with having fun with it.
I said it.
Well, I don't know,
That's
because
the hard
sometimes
thing.
I just...
I'm playing.
there's that.
I don't play. How Rob plays it compared to how I play it is so different. Because I
although-
I set out to break. You know, my character's like stupidly overpowered, and I'm picking all the traits that make me overpowered, so I can run around eating people and going, and not spoilers. I don't know how spoilers work on here, but Brotherhood of Steel and stuff, and that big faction that you could join, and I've decided to basically kill them. Because that's kind of wrong.
Well,
because that goes
but
against
that's exactly
everything.
what I mean,
but that's
though, dude.
how I want to do it, you know.
That's
so
exactly-
everyone can
yeah,
die.
that's exactly what
And
I mean.
Well,
And-
I'm not affiliated with any of them. They can
Yeah,
all
but no,
die.
but that's what I'm
So,
talking about. That's exactly what I
game
mean.
gives you that ability to play it like that, and there probably is an ending for me. And
Well, that's the
I'm
thing.
being
That's-
sarcastic on everything.
What
right?
you're doing is
I haven't modded
exactly
it,
the same thing. What you're doing is exactly the same thing. See, I can say, okay,
How's
one of
that
the
doing
things
the
that
same thing?
Because what I can think of a memory that I had in this game, and I can say, right, I can think of one really quirky thing, and it only happened because I made a choice, and it didn't happen to you because you described this choice
Yeah,
that you
killed
made that cut that thing from you, but it gave you another experience in its place.
Yeah.
You cut off a potential pathway that I experienced, but you had a different experience that I will never experience in the same game. So that's what I'm talking about.
And there's so much
but what
content
I mean
that
is
you will never see.
That's what I mean. And what I mean is that
I'm worried I'm going to run out of stuff because I keep killing
everyone. There's so
everyone.
many parts of those. There's so many choices like that in the world that there's so many different ways of experiencing the game, and that's what makes it good, and that's what makes people divided on whether they can enjoy the experience or not. And I think possibly also with myself and Ian, that the fact that we probably felt it was very familiar to Skyrim was enough to have a little bit of detachment because of the stuff we do with game engine stuff and the recognition of things being games being a little bit lower, if that makes sense.
They've got to be fun
Yeah,
though, as
well,
well, though. And Fallout 4 is definitely
Well, it is
fun.
fun. That's what I'm telling you. I think Fallout 4 is really good fun.
But fun is subjective. Let's not
But fun
lose.
is subjective.
Before the bullying starts up again, it is subjective.
Yeah, I'm basically saying it's a really, really, really good game, but you can actually experience it in a way which is not good for you if you just play it wrong, or if you just play it in a way.
Oh yeah, I'm hitting
doesn't-
sarcastic.
that doesn't-
Anytime sarcastic comes up, I've hit it every single time.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Hilarious.
Because that's how you want to exist in that
it's
environment.
just- I feel
and that's
really
brilliant.
horrible.
That's exactly what I'm saying is good about the game.
I don't want to play
That's
it.
why it's still more-
because I feel really good in a good mood. That's turned into my alter ego and just murder everybody.
Have a tinker instead, mate.
I could just have a tinker. good.
No, but you also made some interesting choices in terms of mods and things, didn't you, Matt? You decided that you would
Yeah.
do something that to alleviate an issue you had with the game.
Yes, I did. Yes, I have. I have cheated a little bit. Yeah, I hacked the weight shit, so I basically can carry everything. Fucking weight. I'm not going into the inventory and dealing with something that just is a thing that you want me to pick up, but I'm now not allowed to pick it up because it's too heavy. Fuck off. And make me just do a 20-minute. If I want it all, which I would do, I'll just spend 20 minutes just fast travelling backwards and forwards. Ridiculous. Putting fast travel in there means that I'm just going to hack it and, yeah, I can carry infinite weight. Sorry.
See, I used
Yeah.
that problem as that was the carrot that got me into all the settlement building, because
Yeah.
I was struggling to have a motivation to do all that stuff because the narrative was pulling me along, and so because that was an issue, I was like, well, fuck it, I'll put the points in charisma. I've got a massive weight allowance on my power armor. I've modded that so that it
Not as big as
you
mine.
You don't even need the armorer perk to increase the weight on your legs, and I can carry about nearly 500 weight, and I can just dump it all whenever I get to a settlement. So I haven't had to do that, and I'm not saying you did the wrong thing there. You can
Oh, here
you
we
bought
go.
the game, but
Yes.
But
And
that's exactly the same thing again, isn't it, Rob? Like you just chose those tiny little choices, and then you had a completely different experience that you that wouldn't have been in your game if you hadn't done them. And like that's what I'm saying. That it's like there's so many of those in this game and Skyrim. There's so very many of those that I've seen from different playthroughs of Skyrim. I've seen different things that I'd like bridges that I'd burnt before in the previous playthrough that I saw the second time, and you realise that's really what it's actually all about. It's what you take from that system, how you go, right, what do I want to do? Like, for example, I love stuff about hacking, for example. I love, that whole kind of culture is something that's very cool to me. So obviously I'm going to unlock the hacking ability, and because of that I get to do these cool little hacking mini games that would otherwise have been shut out for me. And I thought they were really, really well done and really cool and really interesting. And that's just one very tiny example of like hundreds, just like Skyrim, essentially.
But once you work out hacking, though, it's so easy, even on the hard levels. So
it really is easy.
It's very easy to work it out.
I really enjoy that it's there.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
you
It's
can't-
Even after it's easy,
why not?
really.
It's a
you
good
can't
fun
hack
game.
those terminals unless you put the points in the perk, though.
So do you think, have
I've
I got away with it? I seem to have got away with the fact that I've hacked the game's weight allowance so that I have unlimited amounts of weight. Is that okay?
I don't think you've got any advantage. I think you've just kind of just got rid of a wrinkle that was there.
Was really annoying.
Although, to be fair, it can be a bit of a disadvantage in the end, because you will find yourself just ending up collecting just thousands of objects,
and
when
it
you want
takes
to
me an
find
absolute
specific
forever to
objects,
find my fucking hat that I'm wearing.
and who wants to play a menu instead of a game? Very few
it is a bit
people.
annoying sometimes. I still
So
have
there
to
is
go
one
through
way that it can go wrong,
Well,
and
that's
that's
what I
what I'm
was
saying.
trying to
Like,
alleviate
you can do
that.
that in the game. You can do that without actually cheating. You can actually make the game almost like that, because I did it in Skyrim, and it does have that effect. It means you end up being a walking shop, and that is something
I've
that's
got everything,
not
on
something
me.
that really improves the experience. It's something that is a bit jarring.
Well, it's
and a
something
bit
that's
kind of-
broken with the game developers, no?
Yeah,
Because
well, no,
what
it's
the hell?
not. That's the thing. What's
I
the
don't
thing?
want
They've
that.
given
I
you,
don't wanna
they've given
spend-
you the ability to make the game you want. It's just how you do it. If you decide to make the game broken so that something irritating goes away, well, then it's your fault because you've broken it. You've just made a wrong choice. And
My
you've
only
done-
problem with
that's
it-
why
that
it's
makes
good.
stuff.
Though. That is the reason it's good.
Picking up stuff
Yeah,
that
but
makes
my-
stuff. I don't want to go back there after I've been there, because nothing's changed. Nothing's in the world anymore. I've killed it all. It's all still dead bodies. And they
Yeah, but
now
you
want
don't
me
need to
coffee
pick up
cups
everything
and
that's
everything
there.
that's there. Why didn't I just do it in the fucking first place? Pick it up. And
But you
let me
don't-
just
but you
like
don't need to
meld
pick up
it into
everything
my
that's there,
magic
Matt.
crafting and magic whatever they want to call it, and then make the shit. Thanks.
But you
no,
don't- but you
have
don't
to
need
go
to-
back there and scavenge it, Rob. You do, so therefore I hacked.
You don't have to pick up everything that's in every location.
Yes, you do, because it's all worth
No,
something.
you don't. You don't, because that's why they put the thing in the UI to stop, so that you can just tag the items that you need.
Yeah, but isn't it quicker if I just pick everything up?
Also, no, but and the other thing that bothered me about it, because I'm remembering it now, is the fact that you're not having to put any of your points in strength or charisma to be able to do that.
Of course I am.
That I think is part of their balance.
Of course I am. I'm still putting it in because I still offload all my junk.
I just wanted to say, before we go completely off the rails, while on the subject of mods and modding, I have put a couple of mods on. There's a Sweet Effects mod that you actually makes things look a little bit brighter, even though they're quite
And
colourful
blue.
already.
Very blue, but it's good.
And the mod that I haven't really used as much as I thought I would, but I thought was really neat, is the craft ammo mod. You could do that in New Vegas, but it's not in Fallout 4. And it actually puts some of those behind perks, so it's sensible. So if you take the nuclear physicist perk, which I believe in vanilla just reduces the rate at which the fusion cores drop down, if you install this mod, it actually allows you to build fusion cores with like raw materials that you scavenge. So I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, it's a really good mod. It's a very good mod. The ammo mod's very handy. I've got it. I've modded the hell out of it. I've got the Sweet FX.
I haven't used it much because I keep
mod.
forgetting, because you have to go to the cooking stations or chemistry stations, and I just haven't been finding any of those much lately.
Oh,
But-
you can go to one where there is one, store it in your inventory, and then take it back to where your main place is, and then get it out.
Well,
of
I've
your
fixed
inventory.
that now, yeah, because I've got my base with everything there. No, I need to do that rather than, because I just keep going to a vendor and just selling it all.
Ian, you should
But
play
it's
this
probably
game,
not the
man.
best.
It is fun. I mean, it's
Yeah, I'm not going to move on.
All right, well, no, the only thing I'm going to say is that the weird thing about the game is we're all playing it however we want, right? And I
Yes.
love the fact that developers have opened it up to modders and stuff, so you can
Yep.
download whatever mods you want.
Absolutely. And
Get
I'm going
it
to play it the way
running
I
and
want
play it
by
however
not
you
fucking
like.
playing it.
Yeah, and you're the one that's missing out.
That is your
you know?
unique way of
But I don't think I am, Matt.
playing
So
it.
let's move on. Let's not have a podcast of you trying to convince me of something that I'm not going to do.
Okay.
Sorry, mate. It'll be all right. Have a hug. Have a quick
okay.
tinker. I've just added a link on the Skype that
I
everybody
saw
should.
you do that. I'm not clicking that. I got my email.
No,
hacked the
it's
other
not. It's not horrible. It's Star Warsy and a bit tinkery as well.
day. No, it's
Holy!
I just watched
Wow.
the reactions to Skype. Why can't I even minimise my Skype?
I know talking about Skype is amazing, but I just thought I would just get us back on track.
Go on then. Just giving you a big edit.
Have you played it much in VR, Pat? Are you just playing it in VR? Is it
Yeah, I played
working
the
out?
first. I think 3 or 4 hours on a screen, and then I switched over to VR, and I've only played it in that since then.
Cool. Yeah, you mentioned something about how you're using the power armor quite a bit because it fixes the Pit Boy problem.
Yeah. So basically, once you get the FOV and the like the scale of your hands and your gun essentially right, and everything looks right in the world. Unfortunately, your Pip-Boy's too far away, so it's a bit hard to read the resolution of the screen.
I found it very blurry, but I didn't have my glasses on when I tried it.
Right. It is kind of just about readable, but it's not comfortably readable. But if you're in the power armor, it's massive, so it's all very readable. So basically, it's like another one of those choices. Like just like in Skyrim, I sort of had to get really good at doing archery and not get taking too much damage, because I didn't want to be jumping into menus and stuff all the time to heal. If I'm in VR, it detaches me from the experience. Like so, and the same
How would you
thing
do the menus then in VR if you were doing that game? Can't you make a mod for it then?
In Skyrim or
or any of these games, like make a mod for Fallout. Fallout 4 how would you use
that's
if
not
you
what I
want to
mean.
heal and that, what, foot pedals or something?
No, that's not what I mean. I was using menus. What I'm saying is that I didn't want to keep using menus.
Yeah, so how would you access the healing? How would you heal then? By voice or?
Well, I use quick buttons, or I use the menu if it's a.
Well, what would be the best way to do it though? Because these games are just going to keep getting better, and they're eventually going to. Well, we get next year, isn't it? We get Oculus thing come out, and all the stuff starts coming out. So all of us will be buying it, not just yourself. You're the only person I know who has. And Ian has one, doesn't he?
Playing Skyrim in VR, the control scheme was exactly the same as playing Skyrim on an Xbox or on a PlayStation 3. It was exactly the same. It was just use a controller.
Someone's made a less UI mod for Fallout 4, I think, that kind of puts a few extra sound cues in to eliminate. That might be worth a look.
Can you use voice attack for? Have you used voice? Can you use voice attack for it yet?
I don't think I've ever used it for Skyrim. I've used it for a few things, but yeah, that would be a good way of using it. I think for some things,
because Elite does it really well. You can. Well, Rob, you've used it.
It's great for Elite, but it has more kind of contextual sense in Elite, doesn't it? I mean, you can imagine talking to your ship in Elite, and it kind of makes sense to use that as an interface. Right. It doesn't maybe make as much sense if you're like a wizard in Skyrim, saying to suddenly go spell. It might be like even worse than going into a menu. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you could do your Fusru Dars though.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah,
that would be a perfect application of it. And
well, they got that working.
Yeah, people have been doing that.
Kinect.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there a new Kinect coming out, or is that already out?
Oh no, that's no, I don't think so.
No, it's game over.
Is it? Is it finished?
They unbundled it from the Xbox One.
But didn't they make
to drop the price?
I thought it was really good. No, is it not really good? Is it the best bit of kit on the market?
You were the one that thought it was good. You were the reason they did it twice.
I never bought it.
Just leaving it at once.
It's your fault.
I never bought the thing. I thought it was good, but I didn't buy it.
It can do some good stuff, just not what it advertises.
They can send me Xbox people out there that are listening to this can send me one. Fine, I'll take it apart and maybe put it onto the dog because his ear's a bit fucked. So make robot dog. X dog.
X-Dog,
with a controller.
Connect to fix your dog. That's awesome.
Cool. All right. So
Xbox
shall we?
Fuck off.
Shall we put Ian out of his misery then and stop talking about Fallout 4?
You can carry on. I'm just reading Reddit anyway, so it's fine.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do something else.
Fallout 4 then. Say it's really good.
Enjoying
you can buy it.
I just wanted to quickly mention the iPhone app that was intended for putting in that big giant plastic Pip-Boy piece of shit. It's actually quite good. I haven't used it as much as I like, but I do tend to sync it at least once when I play, just so that I can sort of, if I'm thinking about Fallout at work when I shouldn't be, I can like see what quests I've got and stuff like that. So it's quite good like that. But otherwise, you really need to leave it plugged in because it's just on all the time, and it does disconnect quite a lot as well, which is a bit annoying. So great idea. Perhaps we're not quite there yet, but yeah.
It's probably the best application of one of those apps that I've seen anyway. It's better than the Batman one and the ones I've used before.
I didn't even use the one for Batman. I didn't know there was one.
I think there was a Batman one.
But I definitely
Am I getting confused?
I like the one for Black Flag. I thought that was quite good, that you could listen to all the weird shit you picked up. In the Fallout Pip-Boy app, you can the game tapes that you pick up, they are like little little 2D video games. I think there's a Grognak RPG in Fallout 4 that you can play on your phone. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, that was the last thing I wanted to mention because I completely forgot to mention it last time. But yeah, I've done 50 hours and we'll be doing many more, I think, in the run up to Christmas.
Sorry, you won't be doing that anymore, or?
I will definitely be doing more.
Cool.
But I tell you what, though, I think I've pretty much resolved that I'm not playing it in the week anymore because I just need to fucking sleep. And I'm just finding, like, if I put it on, like, too late at night, I just can't stop playing it. And it's like, fuck, I've got so much to do here.
You can, you just choose not to.
Yeah, I'm just
take that pathway.
Yes.
I just need some
make a choice.
You just take the Rob can switch it off upgrade path.
I go back
Perhaps
to
I
my
need
base.
something.
I go back to my base and get ready for the next time that I'm going to be playing that game. That's how I do it.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah, I go back to my base. You know, chill out. I
Tug
spend the
one
last
off.
20 minutes of
Just
my
use the
gameplay.
quick tinker buff.
I spend the last 20 minutes of my game thinking about your mum, you know, that kind of thing, and then. You know, I sort myself out. I repair any of my power armor. I re-equip. I sell stuff, and then I log off and go to bed. And then the
Because
next
dead
day,
fat women are always good to think about.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've had a bit too much park life, mate. You need to get some exercise.
It does.
And on that bombshell, this has been the Not Playing Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself and Ian talk about movies and TV on the Not Watching Podcast, and Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening Podcast. You can let us know what we're doing right or wrong via email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya. And a Merry Christmas to you.
Oh shit, it's Christmas, isn't it? Yeah.
And a Happy New Year.
Suck at Call of Duty. I suck at